Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Pain and Panicked Trip Planning Podcast. My name is Haley Ragsdale, and I'm here with my brother, Owen Rederer.
What's up, everybody?
I was very enthusiastic today. We're a sibling duo who loves everything Disney, especially the theme parks. Our goal with this podcast is to help you take the pain and panic out of trip planning and bring a little bit of Disney magic to your home. I am a travel agent who's a proud affiliate of Academy Travel, and I would love to help you plan your next Disney vacation. You can reach out to me at haley.ragsdale at academytravel.com to start planning your next dream vacation at Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Universal, Adventures by Disney, Disney Cruise Line, and so much more. We're so happy that you all are here with us today. Last week, we kind of did a deep dive into Magic Kingdom. This week, we're going to be talking about Animal Kingdom. So we're going to be talking about some of our favorites, a little bit about the history of Animal Kingdom. So yeah, Owen, anything you want to add before I kind of deep dive into the background on Animal Kingdom? That was,
That's Animal Kingdom right there.
I'm kind of glad you haven't gotten your mic yet.
Yeah, my roars
So
are going to be so much better once I get my mic. Just you guys wait.
it's even more terrifying.
4K HD Owen roars. Anyways.
Oh my. So, okay, back to Animal Kingdom. So Disney's Animal Kingdom is really a unique theme park within Walt Disney World. It's very different than your typical idea of a theme park. Some people have equated it to a zoo of some kind, but I really think it's a lot more than that. The concept for Animal Kingdom came from a desire to create a park that celebrated and explored the beauty of the natural world, which reflected one of Walt Disney's big personal interests in animals and conservation. Joe Rohde had a huge hand. He's an Imagineer. He had a huge hand in the making of the parks and the design behind the parks. He was huge on Avatar when they built like the whole Avatar section. He's the guy, if you watch any of the documentaries, he's very interesting. Like he's got the big gauges. I'm pretty sure he has big gauges and stuff. In my head, he does. But once you see him, you're like, oh, that's that dude. That makes sense. But he was huge behind the building of this park and the nuances behind it. It really was designed to be more than just a zoo. It blends animal habitats with an immersive themed environment. So when you go to Animal Kingdom, you'll notice that a lot of the areas are different, like continents and things. So you've got Africa and you've got Asia. Right now they've got Dino Land and Pandora for Avatar. So yeah, we'll talk more about some of the expansions that are coming too that are going to broaden that even more later on in the episode. But that's kind of the essence of Animal Kingdom. One of the most popular rides there is that the safari ride, which is super cool. It's one of my favorites. It's probably like a 15-20 minute excursion where you drive through the like savannah area that they have set up. It's a huge conservation like heavy. They're really trying to encourage people to recycle and take care of the planet and take care of animals and donate to this, that, or the other. It's super cool to see because they have a lot of different animals and things that they're taking care of that are almost extinct, things like that. There's even a documentary on Disney Plus that goes into a lot of the behind the scenes stuff in Animal Kingdom Safari, which is really, really cool. So yeah, that's kind of the history behind what Animal Kingdom is. It's really more than just a zoo, as some people say. Yes, you have the safari, which is super cool to drive through, but you've also got some of the other like Gorilla Falls and things like that where you can walk through and see the animal exhibits. So I understand that, oh, this feels like a zoo, but there's so much more to that. Like going through like the Africa area and you've got people playing music and playing the drums and seeing Everest and things like that. The Tree of Life is the main icon for Animal Kingdom. So how most of the Disney parks are set up, they have one icon kind of in the center of the park, and then spirals off in different sections, like the different areas of the park, but you always have that central icon. Like the castle is that in Magic Kingdom. So yeah. Owen, anything you want to add?
I mean, I would just say that Animal Kingdom is it's a great park because of how different it is from the other parks. Animal Kingdom is one of those parks that I feel like a lot of people automatically tack as their least favorite. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of the other parks, but Animal Kingdom brings its own special, unique diversity. The way that it incorporates all the different continents and, really highlights their natural aspects. It's it really is an incredible park when you really dive into it and really try to experience everything that it does have to offer. Besides it being a big zoo. So,
Yeah. No, totally agree. It's different from a theme park and it's different than a zoo. It's some kind of combination of the two that takes like the roots of those animals and things that you're gonna see, that culture that you're gonna see, and really brings it out within the theme park, which is really, really cool.
yeah.
All right. Owen, what's your favorite ride in Animal Kingdom?
All right. We're diving in with a really strong one. And, something that I have been mourning over the past year of learning is so my favorite ride is the Dino ride. It's just such a great little story, very comedic, and the ride itself is not boring. Like, it's it's got that good story of like Pirates of the Caribbean, but then it just throws you around in this little Jeep Wrangler, and it's like it's it's beautiful. But the fact that it is going away and being replaced by Indiana Jones of all things, nothing against Indiana Jones. If you're a fan, great for you, but it does not deserve to take away my Dino ride. Anyways, what about you, Haley?
No, I think that's super fair. And we're going to talk about some of the things like coming to the parks later in the episode too. And that's one of the big things is Dino Land is going away. It's being shut down. And they're making the South Americas basically is what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. And I understand taking away, like, I love Dino too. It's one of my favorite rides, but I've heard the complaints and I understand the complaints that, I mean, honestly, they ran out of money when they were making the
What
ride.
complaint? There's nothing wrong with that ride. There shouldn't be a single complaint on that ride.
Okay. 75% of
Don't look realistic. They're dinos. They,
75% of that ride is black curtains.
you know,
That's why it's so
and
dark
I
for
think
most of the ride.
you know what? Guardians of the Galaxy is probably 70% black wall. So I don't want to hear nothing. No, it's great. Dino Ride is perfect, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Every time I
So
see that big dino, it still scares the poop out of me. I have to keep it PG. I'll stop just so I keep it PG. You're gonna get me worked up here.
can't breathe.
Anyways,
So, okay. To Owen's credit, I love the Dino Ride. It's fantastic, but I think the problem people have with it is they ran out of money when they were making it. So a lot of it is black curtains. The animatronics aren't top-notch animatronics. Um, and with this refurb where I don't know if it's really a refurb, but they're taking away Dino Land, they're putting in the South Americas. In Disneyland, they already have the Indiana Jones ride, which is the exact same ride system, ride setup as Dino. So all they have to do is change the scenery, and then they've got the Indiana Jones ride. So I understand where, okay, this shift makes the most sense. It's the easiest shift. I don't know.
I mean,
I wouldn't do it, but
I get the idea of changing that whole area because the Dino Land area where it's kind of like a carnival theme. Don't get me wrong, I love it because it's home to the largest pin bus, and I love that pin bus. Um, but the actual rides and little attractions that they have in that Dino Land, I get that that's not ideal anymore and it's a little outdated, but I'm just grieving. Okay, I'm grieving
that's fair.
our Dino ride. So
I think a lot of us are grieving for the Dino ride.
yeah,
I love the dino ride. It is one of my favorites, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite in Animal Kingdom. My favorite in Animal Kingdom is Expedition Everest because it's
Fair.
awesome. I mean, it's one of those rides that you get on and you're like, oh, I know this is like the one big coaster in Animal Kingdom, but I'm sure it's not that great. And you're like, you get off and you're like, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that is a fantastic ride. I can't even. That would have been my second choice.
It is. When it shoots you backwards,
Yeah.
it's wonderful. Like, I've never had a reverse stomach drop on a ride other than on that ride.
Yeah, and
Gets
now
me every time.
I wish they were able to get the Yeti moving. Because, fun
Yeah.
fact, if you didn't know, the Yeti was actually built to swipe at you as you rode past it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's
Rode
right.
past it. And honestly, if that was the case, I think it would be like it would take that to a whole new level. Because I already get so terrified just going under them in general.
Yeah. No, I agree. But you know why the Yeti doesn't move anymore, right?
Why?
So
Oh no.
apparently,
Oh no.
apparently that entire mountain and ride system is slowly sinking into the ground.
Whoa.
Yeah. So every time the Yeti would move, it would fall more into the ground. So they basically are just having the Yeti not move to keep it
They,
stable.
they did not need to make the ride that accurate. I could get avalanched at any time. That's terrifying. Why'd you tell me that? I don't want to go on that ride no more. I I do not I could not survive an avalanche, let alone a fake snow avalanche that's made of metal.
In
That's
Florida.
terrifying. Yeah. Yeah, in Florida. The metal will heat up to 120 degrees. Ugh. Reverse
No, it's
avalanche.
totally fine now. Like, that's why she doesn't move because they don't want
Oh.
the ride dropping into the ground,
We'll ride at your own discretion.
basically. All right. Next topic, snacks. What's your favorite snack or snacks in Animal Kingdom?
Honestly, I'll say that the snacks don't really get me that excited at Animal Kingdom, but my absolute favorite that does get me excited are the burger bao buns. Those are I'm a fan
Oh,
of anything burger, and those bao buns are so soft and they have the perfect burger meat on the inside. Delicious.
yeah. So if you're not familiar with the bao buns, they're at Satuli Canteen, which is the like quick service restaurant in Pandora. Oh, they're so good. They're delicious. I
Mm.
think I had kind of forgotten about those when like I was thinking through what my favorites were. I know,
How
right?
do you forget the bao buns?
I don't know. I guess okay, so I think my favorite, and it's been my favorite since I was little, I have to get it every single time I go to Animal Kingdom, is the corn. The corn
Oh,
in like the Harambe Market area right in front of Safari.
oh yeah.
But it's gotta have all the stuff on it. I think we got it last time, it didn't have all the stuff on it, and I was like, oh, not as good.
I mean, as a base, it's fantastic, and with stuff, it probably would have been even better. But
Yeah.
that's
It's
probably
usually pretty
why I
good.
didn't rank it so high, is because it didn't have
Yeah.
the stuff on it.
Yeah, no, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, "Where's all the stuff? All the seasonings?" Um, okay. What is okay, you've been
Yeah,
waiting for this question. This
yeah.
is your all-time favorite
You're the
dining
answer.
spot. What's your favorite sit-down dining spot in Animal Kingdom?
Tusker House. I brought up Tusker House on the last episode when we were talking about sit down restaurants in general. I mean, this place we had just gone to. Well, I had gone to for the first time during our race week,
Oh, this was my
and
first time there too. I haven't been there yet.
oh, well then, explain. Well, then I don't understand how you're not as hyped as I am. I get like like that first time having that was incredible. I mean, it just has the most perfect array buffet of, African style foods. We had gone for breakfast and we had actually gotten lucky enough to also try the lunch because we were at like 10:30.
Yep.
So we got to try a little bit of the lunch after we had done the breakfast. I think I had about 7 plates worth of food in just that dinner. And you know what? It's just like the African spices and everything. Like it, it was just a beautiful meal. Anyways, what about you, Haley?
It was. It was quite delicious. I honestly haven't done a lot of sit downs at Animal Kingdom. I've been to like the Rainforest Cafe out front.
The rainforest is always good.
So, Tusker House is probably my favorite. I have heard good things about oh, what's it called?
Oh, the bar place that we were looking at
Yeah. Um,
called something Flats or
oh, let me look it up. Talk about some of the food you had at Tusker House while I look that up.
well, I will say I feel like at Animal Kingdom, I don't know if I'm not looking, but I don't think it has a lot of sit down restaurants. It seems to have a lot of stand up booths that you can go up to. Um,
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I know it's got like Yak and Yeti is one of the big ones. And then
yeah.
Tusker House, obviously, which Tusker House is nice too because it has Mickey and friends. So
Oh
we
yeah.
saw Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Daisy,
Mm,
um, all at breakfast, and it really was delicious. I would say it was the best like sit down character buffet I've had before.
yeah. Well, I think also one like I guess one way that a lot of people do see Disney is it is a lot of, you know, average carnival food. Like I feel like that's the kind of viewpoint I had at one point. But once you really start and, go try a lot of the different sit down restaurants and some of the more hidden food booths and stuff like that, you start to realize that Disney does a great job at actually using ethnic food and using cultures to make fantastic food and following it in a very, authentic way. Like that was honestly, I feel like I had a pretty good idea of what African food was like, but this changed my entire perspective. Like it was a whole new array of food and it was awesome. So,
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like next time we need to try the restaurants at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So
uh,
I've heard really incredible things about those. But the lounge I was talking about or thinking of is Nomad Lounge,
yeah, that's what it was.
which I would love to try. Tiffin's is another one of the big ones at Animal Kingdom. Um, but let me look at the Animal Kingdom Lodge ones because I think that's something we need to put on our bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, already you named two that we haven't tried. I feel like,
Yeah.
it is hard to try everything at Disney World just because, you have limited time there and they have so much to offer. So, even though me and Haley are considered Disney veterans, we've been so many times, we still have so much to try.
Oh, for sure. There's so many things. I think the two that I really want to try, they're at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's Sanaa and Boma. Boma is a buffet. So we gotta
Oh,
go ready.
I love a good buffet. I
And
love a good
then
buffet.
Sanaa, I've heard like incredible things about their bread service. And I want to say it's like you can see the safari, like you can see the animals and stuff while you're
Oh,
eating.
that'd be cool. That would be
Yeah.
super cool.
So that's on my Disney restaurants bucket list.
Yeah, no, I think honestly, it sounds like Animal Kingdom has a lot more to offer than I even know. So,
Yeah, and that's I will say Animal Kingdom is like the hottest park.
no,
Like you get
yeah,
so hot so fast. And I feel like by the middle of the day I'm miserable. I just want to go. Which I feel so bad for saying that because it's
yeah.
such a great park that I feel like I need to explore more, but I don't know what it is.
Maybe we need to change our strategy because maybe we're not like, for instance, this last time we went, we didn't even do a Bug's Life, which spoiler alert, they are getting rid of soon, which
Yeah.
sucks because Bug's Life was actually going to relate to one of my other answers to another question. But anyways, I think I think we need to move on because I'll get
Okay.
again.
Okay.
I gotta wait for the question.
Moving on. All right. What's your favorite bathroom in Animal Kingdom?
I know what I just said was misleading. It's not Bug's Life. It's a next question. Anyways, my personal favorite bathroom in all of Animal Kingdom has to be the one next to Yak and Yeti. I don't know, like the positioning that it's at. Um, it's a perfect bathroom spot on your path, especially if you're heading towards Everest and Yeti and all that kind of stuff. And also, it's just the bathroom that I find myself going to the most because it is somewhat more central. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, it's like right in between. Like it's like your halfway point between Asia and Africa.
Exactly.
which is nice because it's like right in the middle there, but then it's not by like a big main attraction, so it's not super duper congested. I think my favorite is the one back in Dino Land that's like in
Yeah,
Pizza Fari or whatever.
that was my second option.
It's like back in the back corner that nobody really knows about, which I bet it's not going to be like that once they shut it down and open South America's. But
Yeah,
oh, you know what snack I just thought about?
I already know what you're gonna say.
Is it the buffalo chicken chips or whatever?
Those things are so good.
They
Those things.
are good.
That buffalo chicken dip that they put on those chips is delicious.
It's so good. So it's like buffalo. Is it buffalo chicken nachos?
Yeah, buffalo
What
chicken
are
chips is
they?
what they call it, I think.
Buffalo chicken chips. Oh yeah, and it's
Yeah.
at Trilo Bites. But it's like if you're going from Asia to Dino Land, like right past the Nemo ride, there's like a little stand right out in front of Dino Land, and you can get them there.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
next to
they're
the
real good.
underpass.
Yeah,
Underpass for the kids area of the dino excavation or whatever.
yeah, those are delicious.
Oh yeah. They have the tomato and green onion relish and some sour cream on it. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
That
I think
buffalo
we.
chicken dip.
Yes, I think we literally had those for like breakfast this last trip.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we're running those races, I think that was the day of the 10K. I'm hungry. I burned 6,000 calories on that marathon, and you know, like that's a lot of calories. So you better expect that I'm coming to eat at these parks.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, what's your favorite relaxation spot?
Now, this is where Bugs Life comes into play. So, when I thought about Animal Kingdom, like Haley said, it is a very hot park. And so there's not a lot of areas where you can just be outside and not feel very humid and overheated. And so I feel like that's where like Bugs Life, and even if you want to do the Nemo musical, I'm not a huge fan of musicals personally, but you know, the Nemo musical and the Bugs Life, and even the Lion King. That's a musical, right? They have the Lion
Yeah,
King musical. I mean, places
I think
like that where
it's
you can
yeah,
just
it's got
get
music for sure.
yeah. Well, honestly, the Lion King musical, they do really well because of all the costumes and stuff. Those are so well made. But all of those places, they are air conditioned. So that's a great place where, like, if you're planning on spending a whole day at Animal Kingdom, just stop in one of the shows right in the middle, and it's a great refresher, especially even after a meal. Go to Tusker House and enjoy the food and the air conditioning, and then pop on over to a musical. Maybe take a nap if you're someone like me, because I love naps. But those musicals and the Bugs Life show are great places to just stop and relax. So
Yeah, no, I was totally gonna say the Nemo show. It's dark.
yeah,
It's 30 minutes of dark air conditioning. It's wonderful. It's the way to go.
yeah, for sure.
All right, what's your favorite memory from Animal Kingdom?
So my answer to this isn't as much of a memory. I mean, if I were to say memory, I do. I mentioned Wyatt dressing up as a dino and roaring at people in the streets of Animal Kingdom. But personally, my favorite part of Animal Kingdom is going to visit my friend, the Peroon shark catfish. It's this giant catfish who has this little shark dorsal fin, and he just swims in circles at this one bridge. It's over. Oh, it's when you turn left at the giant giving tree, that's in the center of Animal Kingdom, and he's like right on the right, like as you go down that path, and he's just a chill little dude. I love going to visit him. He's super cool, and I just love sharks and catfish. So meld them together. You better believe I'm gonna be there.
That's
Uh,
hilarious. I did not know that's what you were going to say, but
you
you
shouldn't
and your
expect it to come
catfish.
up in Animal Kingdom
Oh,
podcast
yeah.
episode.
I should have known you were going to talk about your catfish.
Yeah,
He is really big though. It's very interesting.
yeah,
Pretty crazy. I would say my favorite memory, it's not so much like one singular time because it's every single time like we ride the dinosaur ride and it doesn't matter who I'm with. Like whether it's you and the other siblings or mom or Jack especially. Jack's the one that like first really started saying it because he loves the dino ride.
yeah,
But anytime we're like, We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. That's my favorite line, and I use it all the time, like in life,
Yeah.
regularly. I'm like, we're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. We made it. It's my
Yeah.
favorite line. And well, I wouldn't say in any Disney ride, but in any Disney ride in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that ride I quote more than any other Disney affiliated situation at all. But me specifically, I like just randomly in the day, I'll be like, that's definitely not our dino. That's
Yeah,
I
it's,
that all the time. But that
it's
ride, ah, it's beautiful.
it's so good. I'm gonna miss it so much.
Yeah.
Well, that segues perfectly into our next segment, which we're going to be talking about what's happening in the future at Animal Kingdom. And my first point to talk about is that Dino Land is going away.
No! Oh. Okay,
I
go ahead.
know it's very upsetting. Um, we will survive. The good news is they haven't announced an official closing date. So if you're going in 2025, you probably have a really good chance of riding it at least one more time. My guess is they'll close it sometime in 2026, because they projected that they were going to open the new land in 2027. So that's my guess. Like we talked about earlier, they're replacing it with Indiana Jones. Um, so I have a feeling it's going to be like carbon copy of the one in Disneyland, but that's not for sure. That's just me speculating.
Yeah.
They are taking out Dino Land USA and turning it into Tropical Americas. So it's going to be themed around Indiana Jones and Encanto. That's pretty much all the details they've released so far. But they've already started closing the Dino Land portion. But Dinosaur should be open the rest of the year. So that's
Yeah.
good news.
Well, I would say that you want to be careful because honestly, I see them closing down that whole back area to be able to build on Kanto because I feel like that'll take the longest. Because like you said, the Indiana Jones ride is literally the same as the Dino ride. Like if you're talking like the actual ride itself. So all they're gonna have to do is really redesign it. So I feel like a majority of any kind of close down is going to be because of the Encanto area, or I guess the tropical Americas.
Yeah, I'm hoping that since because Dinosaur is kind of like the ride is kind of secluded from Dino Land, so
Yeah,
I'm hoping that the fact that it's like separated a little bit will mean that it'll stay open as long as they possibly can keep it open.
that is true. I mean, I'm hoping for that. Don't get me wrong. I hope
Yeah,
that's the case.
yeah,
I'd love to ride it one more time before it closes.
right. Um, Also, in the next couple of years, so at D23 this past summer, I think it was over the summer, they also announced that It's Tough to Be a Bug would be closing in the Tree of Life. I know. And it's going to be replaced by Zootopia. No.
Sorry. I didn't mean to
Okay.
scoff, but
But
I don't hate
Zootopia.
Zootopia, but
I would rather because they had also kind of teased the idea of instead of like Central America's doing like a Zootopia land over there. And I think doing Central America's with some Encanto and some Indiana Jones is a way better move on their part than trying to do Zootopia.
yeah,
Um, I love It's Tough to Be a Bug, and I'm sad to see it go. But those animatronics are falling apart, and they are kind of terrifying because, like, one of Flick's eyes is going that way, the other eye's going that way. When Hopper comes in, he's got like one wing twitching, and it's kind of a hot mess.
I mean they're bugs. It's tough being bugs. Cut them some slack.
I understand that that is the attraction they decided to replace, and I
Yeah,
don't blame them one bit, even though I'm sad to see it go.
yeah.
I hope that you still get poked in the back, though.
I hope it's still very interactive like the Bugs Life one. You know,
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
they do a really good job with the interactions with that. So definitely
Yeah, I'm
other ones in Disney World.
I'm sure it'll be on like they'll up their game with this. I hope. I
I hope
mean,
so.
it's tough to be a bug is pretty rough right now, so they can do it. I believe in them.
I'm sensing some silent hate from your
No.
side of the computer here.
No, I love it's tough to be a bug, but I also loved it when I saw it 26 years ago. So that tells you something.
Okay, whatever.
Okay, so let's talk about current shows at Animal Kingdom. So we've got the Festival of the Lion King, which we talked about earlier. I think they have shows just about every hour or so throughout the day. And it's a Broadway style show. It's got some songs and stunts and all that kind of fun stuff. The big thing with this show is the stunts, in my opinion. I haven't seen it in a few years, but I don't know that much has changed. Um, there's also Finding Nemo, The Big Blue, and Beyond. And it's basically like they have these giant puppet things that they dance around with and sing with. It's pretty cute, and it's also a really dark, really nicely air conditioned theater. So that's always nice. Feathered Friends in Flight. That's a 30-minute show featuring birds. And so it is like right before you get to Everest. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Is that the one? Wait, is. Oh, wait.
It's
I
like, you know where the little Russell statue is and the Doug
Yeah.
statue?
And kind of near the
That's
beast, I think.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I've never actually seen that one, but I've heard it's good. There's also Winged Encounters, The Kingdom Takes Flight. This is a fun one that you can kind of just happen upon. It happens in that main entryway where you like first see the Tree of Life, and there's like macaws that will fly in and they fly to the like bird keepers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a fun one that you just kind of happen upon sometimes. I don't know how to say this. Viva Gaia Street Band, which is like the band in Discovery Island. They play music and all that kind of fun stuff. And then you've also got the Tam Tam Drummers of Harambe. Same kind of idea, except those are going to be in Africa, in the Africa area. Those are always fun because they like, it's another thing you just kind of happen upon. And I feel like you can get pulled into. Like I've seen people get pulled into it and have to do like a limbo contest. So those are always really fun.
Yeah.
Um, Oh, there's also, I think it's Divine, maybe how you say it. Divine? Divine? Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, the woman who scares the crap out of me every time I enter Animal Kingdom. It's
Yes.
that woman who's covered in like camouflage foliage on the big stilts. And I
Yes.
swear, she blends in so perfectly with the background. Like you will never see if she's not moving, you're not going to see her. And then she moves at you. Oh my God,
Yeah.
it gets me every.
No, it's
She's
it's
beautiful
terrifying.
and absolutely amazing, like costume and everything. But holy moly, scared the Donald out of me. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yep. No. And she's like right in that front area,
Yeah.
uh typically. But yes, she's slightly terrifying, but also wonderful at what she does.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk parades really quick, because this is kind of important to know if you're planning a trip to Animal Kingdom. Um, Large scale parades like those found at Magic Kingdom are not a regular daily occurrence at Disney's Animal Kingdom anymore. Instead, Animal Kingdom focuses on immersive entertainment and streetmosphere, as they call it. So some of the things that you may see is going to be street performers and musical acts, like we talked about with entertainment, like the Tam Tam Drummers and the Harambe, Viva Gaia Street Band, things like that. You're going to see more of that immersive entertainment. You'll also see some characters on flotillas, as they call them. So if you're sitting in like that area across from Everest, that shows you the like river area and the water area, sometimes you'll see boats with Disney characters kind of float by and they'll wave and they'll be dancing, things like that. But you're not going to see necessarily a parade at Animal Kingdom anymore. They used to have Mickey's Jammin' Jungle Parade, but it's not regularly offered anymore. But fingers crossed, maybe that'll come back one day. I think this was like post COVID that they stopped doing um, like big parades there. Um, Also, something to note, their nighttime spectacular. So let me just read kind of a description of it to you. The nighttime show at Disney's Animal Kingdom is called the Tree of Life Nighttime Awakenings. It is a mesmerizing experience where the Tree of Life comes alive with projections, colors, and animated imagery. The show occurs approximately every 10 minutes after dark until the park closes. Currently, there is a special Mufasa the Lion King version of the show. So, Animal Kingdom doesn't do like a big fireworks spectacular or anything like that, basically because it could spook the animals or disturb the animals. But a lot of times they have like a nighttime show, but it's not really a nighttime show kind of thing. Um, so yeah. Oh, and anything you'd like to add?
No, as we come to the end of this episode, I mean, one thing to take away is Animal Kingdom has a lot more to offer than most people would think. It is definitely not a, oh yeah, we'll just skip this park because it, is not one of the main ones that you think of when you think of Disney World, but it's it's definitely a must do for your trips because the cultural, you know, enveloping that it does for you and just the all the different things you can do. Uh, it's just a great park. It's definitely something that you just have to go there and experience.
Yeah, for sure. There's so many little things, and I think that's the point. Like that's the purpose of Animal Kingdom, right? Is to encourage exploration and exploring and
Yeah,
discovering things. I mean, it's literally there's a section called Discovery Island for a reason, right?
yeah,
Like it's all about discovering little things, and that's a lot of what going to Disney and Disney is all about. It's discovering those little things. Go into it, know that you're not going to accomplish everything, but try to make the most out of every single moment and every single experience that you do get to have.
yeah.
And don't worry about running to the very next thing every 5 seconds. Like, take your time, enjoy it, take it in. Um, there are Imagineers that, there's probably an Imagineer that came up with the entire ecosystem area for the giant catfish. And we'll never know his name or her
Yeah.
name, but they did a great job, right? And so the more that we can really look and love those little details, I think is really where Disney sets itself apart.
Yeah, and one last thing I'd like to add. It's also just a great park for your children as well. They do a lot of great interactions with. I mean, there's a lot to learn for your kids when they're going to Animal Kingdom, but also they have the Great Wilderness Explorer program where your kids can go and do all these different little missions to earn the badges, and it's a great way for you to be able to interact with the cast members. um, so there's plenty of stuff to do. There's plenty of stuff for all ages and all types of different people to enjoy. So
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right. That's it for this week's episode. Thank you all for listening. Haven't decided which park we're going to talk about next week or if we're going to kind of shake it up and do something fun. But you'll find out next Friday. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Pain and Panic Trip Planning Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you're one step closer to planning your magical Disney vacation. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next episode, where, like I said, we might discuss one of the other parks or we may change things up and do something fun. We haven't decided yet. So that's it for today. If you need help planning your next Disney vacation, I'd love to help you. So contact me at haley.ragsdale at academytravel.com. Or you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram is haley_ragsdale_travel. Owen is O_Rederer. So follow us on Instagram. Send us a DM if you want to chat more about Disney. Until next time, bye bye.
see ya.